Oh.
Oh.
Welly, welly, welly.
This is interesting, isn't it?
It is. Oh, we've got one at the top there. That's lovely. Lovely, jubbly.
Oh.
We're definitely on YouTube. I can't see us on Instagram. I
I think
can't.
it's slightly behind. It's something's happening on Instagram, it looks like.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so. Yeah.
is
Oh.
it? It's not coming through to my phone. Can you not
I
watch
think
it on
it's
your phone?
slightly delayed, but it's fine. As in the Instagram bit.
Yeah, fine. All right. Well, hopefully at some point in the next 5 minutes that will appear. God knows.
Who
It
knows?
says up here, once you are live, and it says on YouTube, definitely live. We're definitely live on YouTube. That's fine. But hello, Matt. Hello,
Hi,
Matt.
dear Forrest. How are you, my friend? This is
This is
our
nice.
100th episode.
Yeah, we made.
100.
Looks. It is what an incredible feat, my friend, mate.
Mate, it's
We
mental.
we've been through. We haven't really been through COVID, have we? That's that. I was going to start with that, but that would be a complete lie, to be honest. We have gone through seasons and years. We are approaching our 2-year anniversary as well. We have seen some tragic Marvel movies and TV series.
Oh
We've
my
seen
God, have we?
we have seen some slightly less tragic and some fantastic moments in Marvel's history. And we've also tried to do these lives unsuccessfully many times.
This is already feeling majorly out of my depth. Like, I'm so used to like just doing pre-recorded stuff. You and I having a chit chat. Like, I'm right now trying to see whether it's working on Instagram or not. I don't know if it is. I can't see any evidence or know how I'm going to find the evidence.
I'm on my phone refreshing, and there is definitely no like signs of life. But we have two people who have either come via Instagram or via YouTube. So do drop us a comment to say where you're listening. It's going to be tragic if we're not on Instagram, because essentially we are just then on YouTube. But that's
So I feel like we are just on YouTube. Okay. But what's confusing here is that our lovely network that we do use, the hosting site that we do use, is saying that we are live.
Are we on your Instagram? No, we're definitely says "Don't Be a Hero" podcast.
Let's try it again, shall we?
Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a whale. Oh my days!
Here we go. Oh, it said live again. This
Did
is
it now?
this is pure entertainment. Us just
Oh, completely.
this is absolute laugh along loud. If you're listening to the pre-recorded version of this or pre-live version of this, and you're now listening on Spotify, these first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe even 15, will be complete garbage. Whilst we work around.
Oh my gosh! What is going on? Do I have to redo it? Do I have to start
might have.
again?
Might have to, mate.
Do we try? This is like, ooh, okay. Hi guys, we're just gonna redo it.
Shall we
Wait,
end?
wait. No,
Oh.
don't end it. I think there might
Okay.
be a little fixeroonie from here. If I edit that and change the streaming key, can I do that? Oh my god, this is confusing. If I got rid of that. Put it back on. Oh my days. Oh. Did it? I mean, I'd attempt to make some sort of chat with you right now, Forrest, but I'm so focused in on this. I'm
He
so
is
eager
absolutely
for it to work.
got to make it work, mate.
Okay. Preview. See if that's working. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I think now I've got to press go live at the top here. I
Oh,
think it's going to work now.
oh,
I think it's working.
oh!
I I think we're on Instagram now.
I think,
Whoa.
yes, we are. We're finally live. We are finally.
Wait. Let me just press this bit. We've got all these things on StreamYard that we've never used because we've barely done a live.
Oh.
Right, we've got this. Ready? Watch this. Right. We've never had the chance to use that before.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go. That's your intro Instagram. There you go. You're very welcome.
Fish. Boom. Straight up for you. Look at that.
Okay,
Living a life.
We can start now, I think. We can
start.
It only took 6 minutes.
It did. I need to... although, are we still up? I think the Instagram's gone down again. Oh, no.
No, we're there.
It's appearing on there. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we've got Josephine saying, oi, oi. We've got, Josephine says, where's Bob?
Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Bob, the Belgium listener. That's what Josephine is referring to.
I feel like this, if there's any episode to uncover who is Bob and where thou art thou, Bob, this is the episode. This is the one, the 100th episode for Don't Be a Hero podcast. We're going to figure out in real time.
Where is
Bob?
Where is Bob? Show yourself. Reveal yourself. Reveal yourself, Bob.
Reveal yourself, Bob. All right, well, yeah, here we are. 100th episode. That's mental. That is mad.
It's all levels of
Congratulations,
insane.
Forrest.
Congratulations, Matt, mate. Well, what a beautiful 100 days. Just to give you context as to just how scatty this is going to be, I arrived in my house 5 minutes prior to 8 o'clock, 5 to 8, with Matt trying to figure out how to upload this to Instagram. I was still in my work clothes, just come from work, and we have a very bare looking schedule to the next hour. So put a seatbelt on, enjoy the ride, and hope that this has any sense of structure. But we do have a couple of surprises.
We do. Actually, that's a very good point. We do. We've got a couple of surprises in the stream. We'll have a guest coming on later on. If there's any spoilers, but it's somebody we can't not have on this celebratory episode for us. But also we've got an announcement as well to make at the end of the episode, something exciting. So do stick with us. Okay, we'll be on for about an hour and a bit, maybe just max. But yeah, I mean, of all episodes and all, with the 100th episode, the thing that we're talking about tonight is part 2, episode 4, 5, and 6. It's sorry, carry on. Of Secret Invasion. I'm gonna play this bit.
We are having so much fun.
That's too much fun because we are literally going to be talking about the highlights of these episodes because we're only going to do it. We're going to try and do it in a record time, right? It's 8:15 right now. Well, 20. I've got 16:20. Yeah. So we're going to do it in 29 minutes. All right. We're going to talk about these 3 episodes in 29 minutes, and then we'll talk about. I think it might be worth us talking about the Joker teaser trailer, mate. Going to the DC side. A lot of news about that, and I've watched it a fair few times, and everybody's talking about that one shot as well with Joaquin Phoenix and a certain smile that he moves into frame with. Chef's kiss, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. I don't want to talk about it, but we're gonna have to, right? And if there's anything that we do, we have to do it. We're on the MCU train. This is still Phase 5. Yeah, no, go on, Forrest. I'm going to pour myself a beer while you.
Just a couple of housekeeping. One is your microphone set up to the right microphone, because the audio on my earphones isn't quite as crisp. I'm not getting crisp, Matt, but I don't know if that's my earphones. You're using your laptop mic, aren't you?
Ready? It's going to change now.
Look at it.
Hello there.
Oh, no, that is night and day change.
That is what we would call a rookie error in the podcasting world.
That-
100 in. Got that wrong, didn't I? All right.
And for Spotify, 10 minutes of listening, and honestly, you could hear like a ringing in the background. It was awful. It was like you were in a different room. It was ringing, and now you're crisp. You're back.
Well, okay. Well, thank you for mentioning it to my dear Forrest. I'm gonna cheers to you on that. I'm glad my first little sip. You haven't got a drink, have you?
I've had no time. I've not eaten. I've not drunk. I have not expelled anything. I'm in for a toilet trip, basically. I haven't done anything. But you enjoy your beer, mate. Let's watch it. Let's watch this moment unfurl. Let's watch it live. That was. You look like you took a bite out of that. That was a thick beer. That was.
I'll tell you what it is. It is actually. It's a special beer. It's a limited edition beer. So shout out to Salt, who created this Fight Star. So Fight Star's a band that's Charlie from Busted.
Yeah.
Many moons ago, they did a reunion gig.
You are absolutely obsessed. You are, mate. You are obsessed. The last time we went to London was that Comic-Con where you kept seeing like posters up about? Wasn't that the gig?
That was it. That was the night. So they teased in a club in Camden of their Grand Unification album cover, and it said nothing but a date, right? I think it said like 26th of November, right? And I said to you when we were there out, and I was like, "This is a Fight Star album. What's going on?" I shouted at the barman. He was like, "I have no idea what that is." And then literally on that date, they announced this gig, and I had to be there. It was joyful. It was so good. It was so good.
That's it. Yeah, it's insane. So we are just to roll it back, looking like we didn't even decide to do this and use this to talk about the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion. We have used this as a weird platform to talk about 3 random episodes at the end, 4 to 6, of a program very few people want to listen to. As was the clear case when we released this episode last week for 1, 2, and 3, where we had our worst listeners I think we've ever had, ironically, in the 100 episodes that we've broadcast.
Yeah, that's true.
So hold on tightly whilst we talk about more things you're not interested in. So let's dive straight in so we can get to the fun stuff at the end.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get this through. Okay, so episode 4. So we kind of we're starting with it. It's called I think the episode is called Beloved.
It is beloved, yeah.
It's a very much beloved episode. Where kind of a little synopsis is where Nick Fury is he's forced to sort of make some hard sacrifices. We learn a little bit more about Gravik's choices. We learn more about kind of more of the rebel side of the Skrulls. And also the group that then try and rebel against Gravik as well. And then we introduce as well the US president comes into play. Of course, if we're doing an espionage MCU project, we're gonna have to have the president involved. It's so difficult. Like, first thing straight in. What I will say is with this particular episode, what it drives a little bit more is more detail into the relationship with Nick Fury and his Skrull wife. And we sort of get a little bit more, and we leave episode 3 as well, seeing that she's going to Gravik to get some more information. She's going to more her species as well. And the Nick Fury kind of unfolds and understands a little bit better that, I know that she's working for Gravik, and they have this kind of chat around the table and stuff where Nick Fury is talking to her and he's going, look, why did you choose? I found it quite interesting actually when he was asking her, why did you choose that face? And she gave the story of why she decided to take on the shape-shifting person that she was, and it was about her. It was a cancer. She was a cancer nurse or something like that, and then she was on her deathbed. And then she made promises to that human being who had that body at the time, and then took that life on basically as a double thing. And actually, what I liked about that, and I'm going to say it's a very light on what is a difficult series, is that it shows that her character, her Skrull character, had found a human to empathize with, to be compassionate against, and effectively lived these two lives. But then that's where the conflict of her character came from, where it was like, I want to be me, and I want you to love me as the Skrull. Those threads, right? And this is why I'm saying it now, because it was the only thing I was slightly interested in. And even in those moments where it was being played, it wasn't done to its complete fullest. Gaia's not dead, because then we find out, in the beginning of the episode, that she's got the Extremis in, which is a callback to Iron Man 3.
Extremis, which means that she's got big fat arms that we're gonna find out. Big fat arms. She's got Extremis, which means that she's got all of the Avengers in one serum. Is that correct?
That's not.
No,
yet,
that's
though.
not this. No.
That's not yet, though.
I have darted ahead with something completely irrelevant.
So eager to jump to episode 6.
Can we just talk about the harvest? No, Extremis, a machine to empower herself with Extremis abilities. So she gets extreme abilities.
Because then in these later episodes, so if we're kind of overviewing these 3 episodes, we learn that, if that's what we're doing right now, Forrest, which I think we should, to be honest, we ain't got long, is that Gravik he knows that Nick Fury has a serum which has the DNA of the Avengers.
He knows because he sourced it, right? So Gravik is the one who basically created this thing, and then Fury's hidden it, right?
Yeah, and he wants it back, and I think it's kind of on the agreement as well that that again, like Nick Fury promised that they'd find them a new home. This is the other thing, right? This is the other thing what I don't get about this series is that why the hell, right? Gravik's going, look, we're going to start World War III. You said you'd find us a new home. You didn't do that. Why haven't you helped us? Why did not Nick Fury, he's just done all of these things with the Avengers. He's got connections with loads of people in space, i.e. one of which might be called the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy have a place called Nowhere, where in literally Guardians 3, they literally took a civilization from the High Evolutionary and put them into Nowhere, and here, we'll find your refuge here. Why the hell did it not occur to Nick Fury to give the Guardians a call and go, look, the Skrulls need to get off planet Earth. I need them to find a new home. Can they find refuge in Nowhere? I'm pretty sure it'd be fine.
Because if we had that, we wouldn't have a god-awful 6 episodes of shite. So... why would Marvel do that? Because they get to escape this 6 episodes of pure tripe that we got instead, man.
But that's the thing. You can't go through the 50% of planet Earth and the universe being absolutely wiped out, right? And then going to a subgroup in Skrull on planet Earth going, oh, we're angry. We're going to create World War III and we're going to politicize this, blah, 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 blah. And just the stakes don't work upon the reflection of what's just happened before. And also the fact that Nick Fury is kind of feeling like he has to do this alone. You're Nick Fury. You literally recruited the Avengers. You were at one point the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. You were the guy that went and found people and made them the superheroes that they are. What makes you think that you're just going to go, yeah, no, man, I'm gonna go alone on this. This is my time, It's a bit, I don't know. It was those moments, and I think particularly when the objective, let's use the word for Gravik, was to go, no, I want this serum of the Avengers, and I want to imply that into myself so I can become the most powerful. Blah, 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 blah. Formulaic. We've heard it before. It just didn't. No one cared. No one cared. And again, thinking about this, of all the things that we have reviewed and spoken about, I want to say this is the one MCU output. And again, I mean, there must be a couple of people out there, but I don't know. We're live right now, so if you are a person that liked this series, seriously, please just tell us how and why, because I don't know a single person or MCU fan that enjoyed it wholeheartedly at all.
Yeah. I enjoyed it initially. I enjoyed it, first episode.
First episode, didn't you?
I really enjoyed the first episode, and I thought, this is going to set up some interesting stories. It's going to be like quite fun to watch. I really like the last scene of the first episode. It reminds me of a film with Forrest Whitaker called Vantage Point, which was a very funky movie that used different vantage points in a square. And yeah, it was just really cool. And then quite immediately, it took a dark turn and just turned into a lot of scenes of two people talking to each other because of COVID, and that meant that this series should never have been done, because the series is about like the world going to war and Skrulls going to war with humans and country versus country. It's got all these massive themes, and yet because of COVID, we can only have scenes between two people. And I'm like, well, it wouldn't be between two people. And just to like proper drive this point home, Matt, right, as I'm sure you would appreciate me doing so, is WandaVision happens in a small little villagey town, right? And yet we end up with like copious fans of different military arms, different alien arms, all investigating this, lots of characters, loads of cast members, boom, boom, boom. And that is for a tiny village, which arguably Wanda was making no effect to anybody else in the world, right?
It was contained.
Yeah. Yet we had all of those people. Yet for something that is literally threatening mankind, we're just going to follow 6 people.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to do. If you couldn't achieve the dream, don't do it.
But also, it was. This is quite a cardboard cutout of Winter Soldier in terms of its kind of politicized view, and how the superheroes are kind of being infused into the government and how it's being used around that. Those threads were very much spoken about and played in Secret Invasion, but the thing is that we had new characters that we didn't really know or care about. So when it does come to the final episode and Gravik and Gaia get the harvest and they get all of these powers within them, what is it? I think it's over 20 MCU characters and names that are being and the powers are being injected into them. You fine, but you just don't care about it. And this is the thing, right? When that happens, you're like, okay, fine. The battle sequence, and this is the other thing. The fight sequence wasn't the worst fight sequence I've seen in the MCU. It wasn't great, but it was interesting because you were doing all these different things. It didn't look great, but it was interesting in terms of how they were doing it. But the thing is that ultimately it doesn't come down to these crazy powers that you can see. Oh my god, she's using the Captain Marvel thing to get rid of him. Blah, that's how she kills him. That kind of thing. It's the characters that we are invested in. It's the stories and the personalities of the people that hold and behold those powers. That's the root of any good story, but also it's the root of any good superhero story. Literally, and it felt like it just got completely disregarded and just got thrown into this hodgepodge of, oh yeah, and then we could do this, and yeah, we could do that. You could just feel the writers going, oh, it would look great. I'm sure they all were like, this would look great, and it's not really. That's not what you should be aiming for, right? You shouldn't be going, it's gonna, you should be, you should aim for it's looking good, but like that should be the extra bit. You need to get the foundations of the story right first before you then start thinking about that. But I think The one thing I do want to talk about actually is Talos. I don't think we did it enough. We didn't talk about him enough in the first episode. I think he goes out. He dies in the 5th episode, isn't it?
Yeah, he dies at the end of 4, I believe.
4,
yeah, he dies
sorry.
at the end of 4. So Gravik kills Talos as they're trying to extract Ritson, and it all goes a little bit P-tongue, doesn't it? Yeah, President Ritson.
So again, I quite enjoyed that kind of chase sequence and the fight sequence around there. And obviously Gravik does the whole doppelganger situation again when he kind of disguises himself as Nick Fury and then turns around and stabs him, and kills him. The one thing I noticed, and I think he kind of saves it in episode 5 because he talks to Gaia and says, "Look, I want you to avenge your father, effectively. Make his death worth something." But what Nick Fury does is that once Talos dies, he just then carries on. The dude doesn't have any time to mourn. He doesn't even we don't see a moment of vulnerability in Nick Fury in that moment. The whole death sequence, and this is the thing. I would think that Talos in this series is the foundational character, is the main one of the main point of views. Obviously it's Nick Fury's series, but he is one of the character development. He is the character that you look for in terms of he's trying to figure it out from being a Skrull himself, but also not wanting to choose violence. That's interesting because there's conflict in there, right? But once he dies again, much like Maria Hill's death, it's just left a little bit empty because there's no aftermath. He just dies, and then we go to the next scene. You see fake Rhodey's being an absolute dick.
And it was the same with Maria Hill in the first episode as well. We get a death at the end of the first episode. Maria and Nick go back years as well, right? Literally, beginning of the first time we have an Avengers film, we see them together, and yet again, death happens, no time to mourn whatsoever. He's just having an argument with Maria's mum at a funeral, and then that's it. And also with that, I think one of the things this program, this series, really suffered with was I think they did a really terrible job when they released. So this series was the kind of releasing one episode per week. Right, and the biggest issue was that they would do a little clip each week of what was coming the following week, and they kept alluding in those clips to Maria's not really dead, Talos might not be really dead, Captain America's going to rock up. It was the biggest one was at the end of episode 5, right? Leading into the final episode, we see Nick Fury pick up the phone and ring someone, and everyone's like, oh, I bet that's Maria. Oh, I bet it's Captain Marvel. I bet it's this. I bet it's that. No, it's his wife. Fucking brilliant. It's not, and the problem is, right, that's fine to do a little bit of a U-turn, a little bit of a cliffhanger that leads to a kind of you didn't see this coming, but the didn't see this coming has to be slightly more exciting than this person we've met a couple of episodes ago. She's still in the series. Ooh.
Yeah, literally.
And you can't provide that as a cliffhanger. Just don't do a cliffhanger then. If the cliffhanger's not got a worthy next week oomph to it, then there's no point in a cliffhanger at all.
That's the thing. Faith Liniani Art says happy 100 to us. Thank you very much via Instagram. It's all cool. Thank you. We've got 4 people watching, mate.
Shut up.
Hello,
we're basically virtually famous. Look at us. Oh my God, we're influencers, Matt. I'm feeling it. We're going to get paid.
Crazy. Oh my
I love
gosh.
It's so nice. And just like that, we've lost all 4.
We've lost one. Oh, God.
We're speaking to ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about episode 6, okay? Let's not spend too much time talking about this flipping dumpster fire of a series that is Secret Invasion.
I'm gonna say some positivity here, Matt,
Oh my
mate.
God.
I'm going to give some positivity. Now, I actually enjoyed, and I think you're going to be all like, really? Really? But I actually enjoyed the conversation between the fake Nick Fury, aka Gaia, and not Talos. It's definitely not Talos. Gravik.
Gravik.
I quite that scene before the fight, before
It's
is
not that,
a.
it's this.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's not that. That's not fucking weird. Before that actual scene is amazing, and I quite like, and that really the acting chops off of both of those men, fantastic work.
Do you know what? I agree with you. I don't disagree. All I would say though about that moment is you can really tell both of those actors are working really hard, particularly Gravik, in terms of making it and understanding, going, okay, this is the climax of the series. You know, I get to talk about a little bit more about why I do what I'm doing, and he reveals a little bit more of his kind of objectives and his justification of why he's doing all the things that he's wanting the Avengers harvest and all that kind of stuff. That should have come earlier, in my view, because of the series and the way that it was kind of formatted. We should have got all of those big moments in a middle episode, maybe end of episode 4, where we see the motives. We see the kind of this is why I need to do this, and the justification then could get spoon fed a little bit later on those episodes, because it felt like it came a little bit too late. And this is the last episode. We're in the last 10-20 minutes. There's going to be a fight scene at the end of it. But nevertheless, I thought the actor gave us a really good performance there, and it was watchable, and I thought it was interesting. I think Nick Fury did really well as a kind of scene partner in that as well. But again, it's too late. Just too late for me.
Yeah, agreed. It was an all right final episode of the best that it could do with a bad set of episodes before it.
It's a shame about. I think all of these actors did what they could with the scripts, did what they could with what they were given, and I would say my hat goes off particularly to Emilia Clarke, who I think did absolutely everything she could to make the character interesting, to make it engaging, to find conflict in the character, and also at the end, as how ridiculous that was, even post the Gravik's death, she agreeing with Olivia Colman's character, who's gone up my head, sort of coming up, Sonya, thank you. So Gaia and Sonya kind of being like, look, okay, let's make amends and let's be on the same level and let's work together on this, and trying to sort of take out some more people basically, and sort of work on more sort of scroll related activity. But then again, you just don't care. Like, I didn't even when I watched that bit, I was like, oh yeah, so they're right now in the MCU. If we're talking about the canon, they're off doing some secret missions, Sonya and Gaia together, having a great time. Did I think about that post this? When I watched it my first time, no. Do we think we're going to see those two come out again? If we do, I don't think we need to.
No.
It was a complete fail against the giving Gaia all those powers. What they might do, and this is what I think as a theory, what I feel like if we do see Gaia show up in Avengers 5 or Secret Wars, is that these powers that she's got are temporary.
Yes.
Either they wear off in time, or they have side effects, and one of her character arcs is to find a cure to get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's what I think. What could happen? Whether it should happen, I don't know, but they might just ignore it.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna. I think they're gonna ignore it. I think they've just got it on. I don't know. Now, one question I do have. So Fury asked Barra, his wife, to go to Saber with him, so they both leave Earth. Right now, we see Nick Fury in the Marvels after this.
Yep.
And that is after this, isn't it? Chronologically, that is still after. We don't see his wife though. Did his wife appear once in that movie?
No, not once, mate.
So
Not
again,
once.
even like just to reiterate the point that we're never going to see these characters again. So what's happened? What's happened here? Right. Let me just spell this series out in a really quick way. Is that we've had Nick Fury, big character, come off the saber, enter Earth. Into a set of issues of which most of the characters that have been around that set of issues are now dead. Nick Fury has gone back in to the saber, ended up where he started with a wife who has now disappeared.
Yep.
So the point of these 6 episodes are absolutely nil.
Zero.
Because we have not contributed any fucking thing to anything. To the Marvel Universe whatsoever, because Gaia and Sonya are pissed off. Maria's dead. Talos is dead. Gravik's dead. The Prime Minister of England, the United Kingdom, is dead. Yeah. I mean, what a heavy input into the rest of the Marvel. Woohoo! Lovely stuff. Love that. And the only character we meet in this series, his wife, that we never met before, has now disappeared. Thank you, Marvel. Great. Lovely. Glad I've watched this over 6 episodes.
So good. Are we still live on Instagram? Have we gone?
No, we are. It's not appearing on our profile, but when you log out of our profile, there we are. But it's the most bizarre thing. That's what I keep checking. For some reason, can't see it in our own profile, though.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Very bizarre behaviour from
Very
Instagram.
bizarre. There we are.
There we go. But so, what overall crisp rating for Secret Invasion, Matt? Let's hit it up.
Oh my god, Forrest. Okay, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say these are like stale, ready salted hula hoops. Like you've left them out on the table for about 45 minutes and they're getting soggy, they're getting a bit and yeah, there we go.
Oh no, that is rough. I'm gonna go for packet of Pombears. Already controversial because it's one of my favourite crisps out there. But what's happened is you've opened your bag of Pombears and someone has gone through the pack of Pombears and bitten everything off apart from one leg.
Oh.
You've just got a bag full of legs of Pombears.
No, thank you.
And you just look at it and you just, you're crying because the Pombear's dead. You're crying because you've only got literally morsels of wheat in a bag.
God, that's rough. Right, okay. That is Secret Invasion. Okay.
But before we completely finish Secret Invasion, so I think it's time to get our friend Ed. Big shout out to Ed. He's a big fan. He's been a fan of ours for 100 years, 100 podcasts. And he has sent us a 5-minute clip. I have not listened to this. Have you listened to this?
No, it's 5 minutes.
This got sent to our email. Don't be hero podcast@gmail.com. And this is Ed's Secret Invasion thoughts, apparently.
Oh my god.
Okay. I've literally just finished listening to your episode on the day it dropped, no less. I'm pretty loyal like that. I've never been so aggressively shouted out on a podcast before. That's really tickled me. So I thought I should record a voice note immediately. And also because it's a sort of a different way to express my views, I usually email in. And thanks for the shout out, guys. I love all the stuff you do. I do enjoy listening to you guys.
The lies have
You
already
make me
started.
laugh a lot. Secret Invasion, yeah, that's like. I feel like Secret Invasion started off relatively well. I agree with some of your points about like they did make things a little bit obvious. Like it was kind of predictable. I think when it starts with Martin Freeman in the first episode, you're like, oh well, he's a Skrull. And obviously, because I think oh, I'm going off on a tangent already. But what I want to say is like. Before we start watching these things, we already know the cast, we already know who's in it. Like, there's very little left for surprise because when we're waiting for these Marvel properties to drop, whether online or at the cinema, every week there's like a new video online, speculation. Maybe this is going to happen. Maybe this storyline from this comic book is going to be used, and we know that like they borrow all the sort of bits they want to borrow from the IP, and they also. They embellish some things and they change some things to suit the story for screen. So it's really hard in general, I think, to watch Marvel stuff now and be surprised. Like, I don't think probably not since Infinity War, have we had no idea as to what's going to happen. Even before Endgame, it was all over the internet there was going to be a time jump. And it was going to be like 5 years. People that can predict this stuff very well, people that have got a good idea about the IP, can see what direction things are going in. So, like, things are becoming. And then there's podcasts that we listen to, like yours, where we talk about stuff all the time. I listen to other Marvel podcasts. Like, we do it to ourselves. So I think it's really hard for them to make something that isn't going to be predictable or isn't going to be half spoiled. So when you find out like who's in the cast and you go, right, okay, so Secret Invasion, you're like, oh wow, that's a huge comic book event, Secret Invasion, like it's massive. And when I was like, yeah, we're going to do a TV series, I just thought, wow, wouldn't that have been better to be like a film or even a two-parter film where it could be like a real global event, whereas it's just an event that seems to happen in Washington, like if I recall correctly. And then Samuel L. Jackson's the lead, and you think, well, he's not going to be a Skrull. That'd be a bit stupid, wouldn't it? If he's the lead character, and then at the end it'd be like, haha, Scooby-Doo reveal. But yeah, I need to keep this short, otherwise I'll turn it into my own podcast.
Sorry, mate, we're playing the whole thing.
The thing with Rhodey was sort of predictable. But I thought that conversation was really interesting as well. I thought it was really important to, other than Black Panther, other than Black Panther films, when do you have two black characters talking about stuff? Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, so one other thing. But still, like, I thought it was a really important conversation to have. Although the sort of tone and the acting choices made did kind of give everything away. I actually really love Olivia Colman in this.
Agreed.
I just think she's great. She's the only one that seems to be having any fun.
Yeah.
True.
And I won't talk about the other 3 episodes because you can cover those later on.
I can't wait.
I thought Secret Invasion had a relatively good start, although it was a bit flawed. I was sort of into it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Obviously, for budget reasons, they had to do a lot of hiding of the transformation of the Skrulls, which I thought was quite funny. So just like people disappearing behind people or walls, and then suddenly there's someone else. Very good illusionist stuff. But I quite enjoyed that for what it was. But yeah, it's just a shame. I think the story is much bigger than a 6-episode arc in general. So there you go. Nearly 5 minutes of me waffling on. I'm so sorry. You can edit this to shit if you want.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for keeping us entertained and your views and stuff. And love listening, love agreeing, love disagreeing. Keep up the good work. And chat soon.
I gotta love a bit of it there, haven't we? Look at that.
Love him. Cheers, Ian. It's really good and fair thoughts as well. Yeah. All right. Well, I tell you what, we are live. So if you are watching, wherever you are right now, give us your thoughts on Secret Invasions. Give a comment, and we'll read those out at some point. But now's the time to talk about a certain Joker, Edu, with a certain guest as well. We got a certain
little guest who's literally
guest on there.
our guest has been sat there for 5 minutes.
Morning, boys, and happy 100th episode.
Oh, look at him! He's got a little one balloon. Love it. How you doing? How you doing, Lee?
Good, you guys?
Oh, all the
Absolutely
better to see your beautiful face, Lee, mate, from over the seas. I just quickly in there. I've mentioned it before. I've turned into an avid fan of Married at First Sight Australia. And I just hear the accent in my living room every night, and I'm like, "Where's me some Lee?" He's got no words.
If it's Married at First Sight, that's fine. I can't stand watching it.
I'm sure most people can't. For some reason, it has me hook, line, and sinkeredly. I have binged 40 episodes of that in a way that anybody above 30 should not. But that's me. Loving
Probably
it.
not. Probably not. But look, it's been ages since I've done another episode with you guys. And when you messaged me saying you want to come on, I was like, fuck yeah. I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man. Lee, it's so good to have you here, dude. And I said in our chat a couple of days ago, I was like, you are like the Nick Fury to this podcast. Like it feels like you're the central Nick Fury amongst all these other podcast creators out there. Just really appreciate your time. What time is it right now in the morning?
It's 5:45.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
We have never managed to give you a nice time.
We owe you. Many owe you. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure even when we do your podcast, we only have to wake up at 8 o'clock. So we need to, you really need to to damage us the next time we go into a podcast.
You guys gonna be up at 3 a.m. because I want to start normal? But no.
Deal.
It doesn't matter the time of day. I will always be up and ready to be on your podcast. Which we figured out the other day. I think it was after Black Panther. We started chatting when you guys did Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That feels so long ago.
It's a long old time ago, isn't it? Back when we had some half decent Marvel content, Lee. That's what that reminds me of, mate. And now look at us. We're glad to have the Marvels. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But we're getting closer and closer to Deadpool 3, which we are definitely getting you on board for, my friend. That is 100% happening.
The longest trilogy review ever.
Isn't it? Literally. Yeah, we had you on Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 when we reviewed it. Yeah, Deadpool 3. Well, it's July time. Is it July? Isn't it?
July, yeah.
Oh.
And I want to know where the bucket is. I want to see where the Deadpool bucket is. Can I sleep with it? That's the big question.
Oh,
Have you seen the pictures, Forrest?
I have
Deadpool bucket?
the mouth in the middle. It's outrageous.
Extra butter, please.
Extra butter. But also, I've got to say, as hilarious as it is, lads. All right, I'm a bit disappointed because that is reducing my popcorn content for the sake of a face in my popcorn box, and I don't know for £12 that I can hack that. Quite frankly,
You want the ratio to be right.
yeah. Unless there's going to be popcorn in his mouth, and I can just use my tongue and just loop it.
What do you want, right? That's what you want to do with a theater, right?
I love that your webcam just zooms in. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Oh, genius.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, right. So apart from all the one exciting MCU project that's coming out this year, we did have in DC a certain Joker teaser trailer that came out. Lee, you've spoken about it on your podcast. What are your thoughts so far?
Look, I was excited for this, but when I watched the trailer, it didn't blow me away. It only got my curiosity a little bit more up. I remember watching the first trailer for Joker, and I was like, yes, I'm in. Let's go. It's dark. It's gritty. It's on another level. It's next step up past Heath Ledger. But this trailer, I was like, okay, I'm happy to wait. Like, nothing really blew me away. And I'm still trying to wrap my hand around that this is going to be a musical.
That's the thing. Like, it feels like it's been quite mixed in terms of the reaction. And everybody's been talking about that one shot, at the end with the smile and stuff, which was very clever.
That was cool.
Yeah, really cool. But it is the musical. It is. I think it is this kind of musical element in what is considered to be a really dark telling of the story of Joker through a very real kind of lens. And then they're really placing that out, aren't they? And they're bringing it in, obviously with Lady Gaga being placed into it. I get this sense that it's going to be way more of a musical than I first thought. I thought it was going to be a couple of songs. I think this is straight through.
Yeah, 15, I heard the rumor was 15 songs with original songs.
Wow.
That's a lot of music. Yeah, and also, I think what worries me the most about this trailer is that they've purposely kept that out of it, right? Which, and obviously, if you're making a movie and you're having musical numbers in it, visually, you want it to be incredible. It can't just be someone singing at you. That's an actual going to a theatre and watching a play or a musical or whatever, right? So it's got to be visually stunning. There's got to be a visual reason behind it. Now, what worries me is if it is a musical and everybody knows it is, and it's being plugged like that, and you are omitting that from a trailer, it concerns me, because what that reeks of is that the studio knows that this could be a really bad decision they've made. They're not entirely confident with it, and therefore they've taken it out of any marketing material. In which case, that really screams to me, we're not really secure about this film, and we're a little bit worried about what we've decided to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you felt confident in it, why would we not see music? You didn't get a trailer of A Star Is Born and they concentrated solely on the drama scenes. Do you know what I mean? You had the music.
True. Well, this was only the first trailer, so they might show in the second one. I don't know if you guys saw, but did you guys all see what the rating was for this film?
Oh no!
Is it?
That there is brief, full frontal nudity that will happen in this film, and unfortunately, I feel like it's not going to be Lady Gaga.
I agree. I agree. I think it's We'll get probably. Have you seen Saltburn, Lee?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and we might have a Joker Saltburn situation. I think.
Yeah. Oh, good! Another bathtub scene. That's what I really wanted to watch.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
Do you feel like that's done in a way? Because obviously the fact that they've announced that as well feels like they might be grasping for people to come and watch this. You know, they're trying to kind of go, oh yeah, just so you know, there's a bit of full frontal nudity. Oh, but we're not telling you who it is. Oh,
It would surprise you.
Bring your Deadpool cups. Come on.
You too, Dune fans.
Everybody's invited.
Yeah. Look, I think it could just be still playing on how dark and gritty the first one is. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Lady Gaga's outfit as Harley Quinn I liked. When her scenes as actual Harley Quinn, I liked. She stands out so much. But it looks to be something to be very like their world and the real world. Which I think I'm assuming that their singing only happens when they're imagining it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that feels like that's how it's going to be played out, isn't it?
It's got to be right, and it because logically it makes no sense otherwise. Then he would never be released out of prison, and he certainly wouldn't be released with an absolute psychotic woman next, like a person with him, right? They're not gonna go, and I can't imagine any plot where the play. Well, actually, yeah. We are in DC and Marvel territory, but I can't imagine a plot that is going to be like an ounce like interesting to watch, where the police go, "Oh yeah, we're going to let you out just to do, but you have to do this mission." It's weird. It's going to be in their heads, isn't it?
Has to be. You know. I know you cause chaos, but you can leave. And that weird blonde that's been staring at you the entire time, take her too.
You can go. You can go. You can.
Because you know why? This Arkham Asylum. Everyone gets a free ticket out.
See. And what was I going to say also about the kind of shit? I was going to say something else, but it's gone. Oh, it was about the thing with the quality of the movie. Now, the thing that brings me hope is that Phoenix, having worked on Joker and knowing a bit about Phoenix as an actor and the work that he has done, I do not think he would associate himself with a project that was anything but sensational.
Agreed.
And I think he must know that this movie is shit hot. A, as a film, B, as a sequel, that he wants to bring a character that would have been one of his best ever characters he's portrayed. So I might be wrong. It might, money. But I think Phoenix, if he'd have heard the musical element and saw that it was shit, would have just walked away and said, "You can do this with somebody else." I might be wrong.
That's the thing is this is what the argument I made on the podcast was after the first Joker, that I didn't have one little bit of me that was like, I need a sequel. I need a sequel to that.
Agreed.
Like I really want to know what happens next, because as a comic book fan, we all know what happens next. So there must be some meat in the material to warrant this being a sequel, and for Todd Phillips to come back and do it again.
Yeah. And I remember after the first one came out, everyone was asking Todd about a sequel, and he wasn't very optimistic or positive about it. He was like, no, I can't really think of an idea. Like, let's just leave. So, it's, as you say, Lee, there's got to be a reason why this was to go down a musical route. I think there's something about it that they must know. This is like shit hot cinema.
Do you think they're kind of like the aesthetic of Joker sometimes gives me a little bit of what was achieved with, like, I mean, not completely, but like to a certain tonal effect, like with Poor Things with Emma Stone, and obviously that was a massive, a huge hit, and got all the awards. I kind of feel like that's what they're trying to do with this particular project, is bring it into the Hollywood Academy kind of view and make it more like niche and artistic, less of kind of we're talking about superhero blah blah blah, it's less blockbuster, it's more it's got an indie kind of like feel to it in a way. Which might be what they're going for.
Even 50 60 superhero films later, and the debate always comes up at the Oscars. And they always make jokes of it, superhero films don't, that's not proper cinema, that's not going to get the Oscar, that's not going to win it, yet The Dark Knight did, and Black Panther nearly did. But I agree with you. They've written this not as a superhero film, they've written this more as a story, as a piece. The superhero element is at the end of it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think it's done. The teaser trailer has done exactly what it needs to do. It's given intrigue to the audience. It's giving us a little bit more information on how it's going to look, how it might be put together. Now knowing it's going to be a musical film in a way. You know, it's I'm because I like musicals. I feel like that's gonna. I think I'm trusting that I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm less trepidatious than others, but I can totally understand the kind of like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, like you tell me if someone gave you a script and say I got a Joker story where that's a musical, wouldn't you also look and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think it's just universal. It's just universal of WTF going into it.
And I think because of that, it's going to be a very, very. It's going to have a Marmite reaction. This is either going to do fantastically, and people are like, "Wow!" Like it's risked it, but oh my god, it was brilliant. Or people are going to go, "That it was just fucking shite." Yeah, it was just awful.
Just a pile of shit. Well, are you more excited to see this, or are you more excited to see the Penguin prequel that's coming out? I think the same month.
This is the thing. I think I'm a little bit more trepidatious about the Penguin one than the Joker one. It felt like it's. I mean, we spoke about it briefly. We did a little watch along with the teaser trailer, and it feels like the Penguin one's kind of very much going into that kind of if DC kind of had a Godfather. Do you know what I mean? If it was kind of mobster vibes, and I think that works for Matt Reeves, and I think that works for that kind of world that he's created. But from a TV show standpoint, I wonder if that will work.
Well, it's not. There's not. I think it's only 6 episodes long, so like a normal show. I'm just more excited just to dive back into this world. I don't really give a shit. It's Penguin. I'm just excited to finally get back into this world, knowing the fact that the Batman 2 has been delayed to 2026.
Yeah, that's so long away.
Yeah, I think definitely looking more forward to Joker. I prefer Joker as a character. I prefer Harley Quinn. I love. I think. I wasn't massively a fan of the film noir Batman, the version that we've just had. It's not really a bit of me. So I think for me, Deadpool and Joker, they're the two this year that I cannot wait for.
So excited for. Do you guys find it weird that we got this year that's it? Like, that's legit it.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We need to think about content. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna work in the benefit for general audiences and us as well as being superhero fans as well. I feel like it's going to give us the space that we need. I think we need to stop talking about what superhero fatigue is and all that kind of stuff. Everybody's been talking about it for years. It's a their word. We do what we do.
You've gone very Trump there with your hands there. No.
No.
Yeah. They're good. There's no superhero fatigue. It's fine.
Fake news. Fake news.
It's gonna be fine, everybody. We're gonna have a break. It's gonna be great. All right, we're gonna have a break. There's gonna be no superhero content. All right, and when we come back, it's gonna be great. All right, we're gonna make superheroes great again.
Gotta get that on a red hat. Make superheroes great again. Yes. Yes.
I love that. That is outrageous. But it was so funny because we've obviously only really just got into phase 5 from reviewing all of phase 4. And Matt, at the end of phase 4, we were so tired. And so I was honestly getting quite bored by the end of phase 4 of just endless content. And I think it will be such a drastic change. Looking at a web page which outlines what we got for Phase 4 versus what we're gonna have for Phase 5. It's another world, and it's what they should have done all along. That's Phase 1 and Phase 2 were incredibly successful because it was concise. It told a story worth watching. Job done. Keep it like that. Yeah. And this is what I hope for. James Gunn, please do the same at DC.
Well, I did see him say the fact that apparently they're not greenlighting anything in advance until they have a full-fledged script for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Properly.
That's exactly what we need to do. And that is what you call good planning. Stories comes first, and get that right first. And we literally just spoke about it in terms of talking about Part 2 of Secret Invasion. It felt like they were just going over the big things, these big kind of flashy moments. But let's do that. It will look great. No, the story comes first. The characters come first. All of that extra stuff it comes after it. So that's actually from a fan standpoint should be really refreshing for us, and should hopefully put us all in a state of ease that we know that James Gunn has got the DC in safe hands.
In James Gunn we trust. And think that was it there. Superman Legacy and Fantastic Four are coming out like a month of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's going to be insane.
That will feel like when Dark Knight and Iron Man came out. Do you know what I mean? Like those two massive movies coming out at the same time within the same time period, same month. It's going to be a great time for superheroes. I can do it again. It's going to be a great time for a
That's going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's almost the reverse, actually. Superman's kicking off a new era in the DC, which Iron Man was, and Fantastic Four was a sequel that became... Sorry, Dark Knight became a sequel that was critically acclaimed, and Fantastic Four needs to be an absolute winner for Marvel. They need to hit that far.
Yeah.
We'll on, right, for MCU. They're going to be really sweating about it. I would not want to work for Disney right now. I would. No, I would. I'm lying. I do want to work.
Yeah, the money will do it.
The money. I was going to say the money.
I'll walk in there and I'll go. Oh, it's really difficult working here. Actually, you know, the quality. We're really concerned about the quality, and the Rotten Tomato meter is pretty dreadful. But I tell you what, the £6 million fucking pounds ain't bad. I'll go back home to my mansion and I'll worry about it later. See you later. Off I go. I think July, I've said this a couple of times, I think that July we're going to get a lot of news. We at Marvel have been sitting on quite a lot of news. What is happening with Kang? What really is like Fantastic Four looking like? And I think July, San Diego Comic-Con, we've got Deadpool coming. Deadpool coming out, and I think it's gonna be a monumental month for Marvel. We'll get a lot of news. I might be completely wrong, but I think we're going to get a very much clear picture of the next 5 years for Marvel.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more, because Marvel, even with Deadpool, Marvel needs another kick this year. Right now, X-Men 97 is absolutely killing it to the point where it's the highest rated Marvel project, period, on IMDb, but they need another kicker, and we need to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen with? And they're going to want to drop the trailer for Cap 4 and Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts with an asterisk that we will find out later.
Yeah.
That was what did make me laugh, to be honest. It's like, we're going to put that in there just so we know that something might happen after that. It's like, okay, great. All right, cheers.
You'll find out. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your little head.
I do think where we get in the end credits we get this character will return in future or however. I get a feel like for Deadpool it would genuinely be quite funny if they twist that and that's how they tell us about Kang. So at the end, we just get Kang will not return. to the Marvel universe, and then and then it just slides up, and we see Deadpool going. I mean, that would be, it's a nice non-direct way of them doing it as well. I'd quite appreciate that. It's good. That would be a good way for Marvel to do it.
Do that, or do what he did to himself with the Green Lantern script.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 would just go back and shoot Jonathan Majors. But he holds the script, and then that's.
We'll rectify that. Literally. Oh my god.
It feels like, I mean, they have to be so careful how it's done, but it feels like we've got Deadpool. He's part of the TVA. We're on the very much of the lead up of the Kang Dynasty. If they do not do something that directly or indirectly tells us what on earth's going on there, I'll be very surprised. Surely they have to be sensitive with it, but yeah, I'd be very shocked if there's not something there to tell us a bit more.
It has to be with what with what Deadpool 3 is being, Deadpool No Way Home. They have to lead something into Kang. Like hell, there's in the trailer, there's the picture of Doctor Doom in the Secret Wars comic in the background. So there has to be something at the end, and we both know Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are going to return for Secret Wars. Not Secret Invasion, that was shit.
Secret Invasion Series 2.
Oh,
what a home. Deadpool will return in the Eternal sequel. With Harry Styles and the Troll.
Oh my god. Let's not start there. Let's not go there. Oh my god. Yeah, man.
No one needs that.
Lee, thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your face. Thank you so much. We're going to let you go and have some breakfast, man.
And get ready. But look, thank you for having on, guys. You guys have been nailing it ever since your first episode, and watching you guys grow, your fan base, your show, everything you've done. I just can't believe you guys are nearly caught up. I think that's the scary part, because when you guys started, you guys were so far away. But most of all, I'm looking forward to when you guys hit X-Men 97.
I know.
Honestly,
I haven't watched a single episode, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait for that. But enjoy the 100th episode, and I'll see you guys soon.
Oh, legend! And I know you're looking forward to us touching.
What?
You're looking because I was going to say I know you're looking forward to us doing the boys, touching.
Yes,
touching the boys. I know you're excited.
I don't know what was worse, touching or doing the boys. Anyway, yes, I am. When you guys do, I'll high five in and I'll join.
Fab.
Cheers, Lee.
Brilliant.
Take care,
Cool.
buddy.
Take care, mate.
Later.
Bye now. Oh,
What a
legend.
man.
He's done it.
Man.
A man,
Lights, camera,
the myth,
rant,
the
people.
legend. What a joy. Yeah, Lights, Camera, Rant. His podcast is amazing. He talks about all kinds of stuff. He's, absolute legend. Godsend.
Absolute
Beautiful
hero.
man.
He really is. And honestly, when we first connected with him, he honestly does feel like he is, our Nick Fury to this podcast. And honestly, dude, please go check him out. He's such a hard worker, and he does so much content, and there's nothing but love. Thank you so much, Lee, for coming on. We've got some comments, mate, on Instagram. Should we go through some before we talk about
go on then.
Special announcement that we've got?
Oh, the little special announcement.
Okay, let's have a little look. Okay, cool. So first things first. I mean, we've been going for an hour and 15 on this. We never do this kind of lengthy content. This is exciting. But we've got Caitlin Feeks said Secret Invasion. It's about Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion had its issues, obvious plot twists, as Ed said. So we had Ed doing a little audio message there. I think he's joined in with a comment as well in a minute. Said, and fairly boring. Yes, I watched it all, but was it worth
Fairly
it?
boring with Secret Invasion, not your clip, Ed. I think she was for
That's
talking about a
asterisk, thanks there,
talking about a
mate,
program.
and she followed on by saying, all we have now is dead bodies and a missing wife, like Forrest said. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Nothing was really ever executed very well at all in that show, and hodgepodge together. And honestly, the repercussions of Secret Invasion will not be spoken about, and I doubt very much will be thought about going forward into the MCU. They'll throw that under the rug and say that was a failed project. Don't Think Act podcast. This is Ed. Ed did us a little comment about Joker. The first Joker had a $40 million budget. The sequel has a $200 million budget. What do we think an extra 160 is going to say about mental health? That's the thing. Like, it could. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I enjoyed the teaser trailer enough to obviously go and watch it. I mean, I was going to go and watch it anyway, but I think that musical kind of element doesn't deter me that much. But I can totally understand why people are like, how's that going to work? I think there'll be academies though. Academy nominations, definitely.
100%. And like, you know, us two and Ed will know that with a musical, obviously a musical like this, they're not using like, man-made tracks. They will have got they would have got an orchestra and they would have done this. So yes, it is a very expensive film, but actually an orchestra costs literally tens and tens of thousands of pounds, let alone in dollars, to get a group together and play a load of music. So I think the actual, yes, it is far more expensive, but I would not be surprised that a vast majority of that is purely around the creation of the music, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Metalhead Swifty says, happy 100 episode. Oh, how exciting. Oh, man, like, honestly, this is very exciting. Shall we do our little announcement?
Let's do it. Let's announce.
Do a little announcement. I mean, we won't delay, but so we, as you all know, had a wonderful time at a certain convention back in October. And there's a certain one coming up in May. And dear listeners, dear friends, myself and Forrest are going to be back at MCM Comic Con London this May 24th, 25th, 26th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will be there. And we're going to be there, not behind a stand this time round. We're going to be roaming around.
Oh.
We'll be given permission to roam.
With rumors.
Roaming around. We're there for the whole weekend. We're going to be doing everything that we did behind the stand, but we're just going to use the opportunity to talk to people throughout the weekend and get some interviews done, do a lot of what we did in the first year that we were there. So, and sort of amalgamate what we did back in October. We can't wait. It's always such a great convention to be at. MCM Comic Con in London is a wonderful community event for just pop culture people that love films, comics. I was gonna say, what's the other word for comics? Graphic novels, anything like that. And there's going to be live entertainment. There's going to be panels. There's artists. There's independent sellers as well that are incredibly talented. We met a load of them. We're in October version of Comic Con, and absolutely delightful. We had the best weekend, as you all know from the episode that we did, and we'll be there again in May. So, dear listener, if you are going to be there this May, do let us know. All right, and we'll try and organise something if we can. But we will be there, and we can't wait. It's going to be beautiful, isn't it, Forrest?
We cannot wait. Who knows? We failed with the cosplay last time.
Well,
we might bring the cosplay.
We've got a little comment on Instagram where Don't Think Act said, "Are you going as Shaun of the Dead?"
Oh, so I have said to Matt that this year is the 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. It came out in 2004. I'm most excited because they're going to bring it back to cinemas. And if it comes to a local cinema, we are fucking definitely doing a marathon of the Cornetto trilogy.
100%.
Yes, so I personally think it's a great time. It's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean that's got to happen, right? I mean, we I think, yeah, Shaun of the Dead cosplay I think is an absolute must for this May, for obvious reasons what just Forrest has said, but also what kind of at point in the movie do we do it? Do we do it at the beginning or is it at the end? Like,
have you got red on you, Sean? Who knows?
Right. Oh wait, we're gonna have an infinite amount of cornettos that weekend. It sounds like
I cannot wait.
delightful. Count me in.
Oh yes. Oh, lovely.
Oh man, I tell you what, that was a wonderful 100th episode. It's weird to say that we have done 100 podcasts, but we have, and it still feels like
whether you liked them or not.
there's been some bad ones and worse ones.
Some absolute humdingers. Last week was pretty bad. But yes, no, thank you, our wonderful listeners, most of all, for listening each week or whenever you do, whenever you find time. Please give us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Drop us an email, don'tbeahero@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you want. We'll be there. 100%. And we'll see you next week now.
What are you reviewing, my friend?
I
think it's the Marvels, but I might be wrong.
I don't know.
If anybody in the chat can tell us what we're watching next and reviewing next, please let us know.
We are.
Finds out.
Oh no! I've got it.
Has he got it?
You're too quick with the Marvels because because we've done an interview. We know what's coming next. Yes, we've got another big announcement next week. We'll let people know next week. We don't release all the announcements, but we are doing Loki season 2, starting with episodes 1 to 3 next Wednesday, and we have got something ace lined up for next Friday.
We've got a certain interview that's related to Loki series 2, and it was a great interview. So can't wait. to upload that.
We may have bagged ourselves an actor who's been in a Marvel universe, who's been in a Loki film series. Exciting week ahead.
Amazing. Well, dear Forrest, thank you for being the best co-host in the world.
Oh, thank you to you too, Matt.
We're not even 2 years in yet. We've got our second anniversary for the podcast coming in a few weeks' time, actually.
We do.
I think it's the middle of May or something like that. So we can actually, is it the weekend we're at Comic-Con?
It's the 18th.
Oh, it's a little bit before, but hey, that's fine.
It's a weekend before, but that would have been magical. But yeah,
still feels like we are very much podcast. I think we are podcast babies still, but the fact that we're at 100 is mad. So I'll see you at the 200th episode.
I'll see you there. You'll be 38. The tone will change.
All right, Forrest.
Okay, lower your fucking tone. Okay.
It's gonna be great. Fantastic. All right.
Anyway, Joe, what a joy.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining as well live. This is something that we don't usually do. We'll do more of it. We'll try and get better at it, but appreciate it.
And if you couldn't join us live and you're listening to this pre-recorded, shame on you. Ta-ra.
All right. Love you lots. Bye now.